Welcome everybody to episode 14, season 2 of the Hooligan Sports Podcast. Thank you everybody for joining us. Uh, we got a shorter main group today. We got Tommy and Christian possibly joining us later on this episode.
If they
Got
get bailed out of the Tijuana jail.
we got Boosters and Rico with us today, and a very cool episode today. We got more guests. I know something new we've been trying out here on the show is bringing in a lot of different people, hearing right now mostly about how the sports world has been affected with the whole COVID-19 and all that kind of stuff. So we're still reaching out to people. Got a lot of cool guests. Got some cool stories today. What we got, Rico?
Oh, yes, we got a few cool guests today. I'll intro them one at a time. The first one, Mr. Charles Smith, founder of Insight Sports. So let me reveal him. Hey, Charles, how's it going?
Let's see here.
There he is.
I'm
He's
good.
coming on. He's coming on. He's coming on. There he is.
Good. Yeah, I didn't know I was gonna have to actually hit the thing that says start my video, so I was,
Oh,
my
yeah.
hands were all, whatever and stuff.
There
But,
he is.
Hey, it's,
Founder.
hey, it's
Insight
good to be
Sports.
here. Good to be here. I hope everybody's holding up good with the whole COVID-19 thing. I know what you must be going through. Fortunately, I'm in my mid to late 50s, not my mid to late 30s. If I was, I'd be going crazy with all my activities shut down. I know it affects us all in different ways.
Right.
We're in this together, but it affects everybody separately. So,
Yes.
everybody
Thank
stay
you.
strong out there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining us, Charles. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you for
Next
coming
guest.
through.
Yeah. Next guest we have personal trainers, good friends of mine, Eric and Jen Escobar. Here we go. Hey, Jen, how's it going? There it is.
Doing good. Hey, Jen had to step away for a bit.
That Noah?
Yeah.
There he is. He's representing. Representing. Thank you guys for joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
All right. Next guest we have is Lisa Rosales, sports photographer. There she is. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Lisa.
How's everybody?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Thank you for joining us. And last but not least, good buddy of ours, Mr. Johnny Pepper, representing in Texas right now. There he is. Hey, what's up, John?
What's up, Johnny?
So yes, thank you all for joining us. Again, we kind of like to invite a lot of our friends who are tied into sports in some shape or form and kind of get their input on how this COVID-19 virus is just affecting us. As you know, there's no sports going on, so it affects us somehow. Whether it's boredom. Boosters and I can't place bets on games right now, so because Vegas is closed too.
I actually had a whole bunch of bets on the NFL draft this week.
Oh my God, this guy is forever gambling.
So I actually almost won a good chunk of money if it was not for the stupid last pick of the first round.
Oh my! Go into that. That was kind of big news this weekend. Started Thursday. Got some pretty interesting picks out there.
Yes, we need Tommy here for our Rams talk, but
he's just going to be pissed off about the Rams right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's happy right now about it.
He is not happy about the Rams. Rams actually got a D+ rating on the draft. They were actually scored low.
Yeah. I actually do like the running back they got, and I'm not opposed to drafting another receiver. I mean, the two running, but the problem is they need some defensive help, and they didn't really fix that need.
Yeah.
Well, the Rams, I can break in for a sec here. The Rams, I was surprised. I think one of the reasons that they kind of have fallen as they have is they needed to handle the whole Todd Gurley situation a lot earlier than they did. I was surprised in the middle of the season, last season, that they didn't pick up Kenyon Drake in the middle of the season when he went to Arizona instead. But I thought they should have picked up Kenyon Drake, finished the season with him, and just be ready to phase out and move out of that Todd Gurley era, because hey, that knee is not getting any better. And when you can all the time you want, but when it feels like someone is sticking an ice pick into your kneecap every time you cut, you're not going to be that good.
Yeah, it's hard for that arthritis to heal.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Yeah, but so I mean, obviously I don't follow too much college football. That's always been my weak side. But so every time there's an NFL draft, I'm like, I hope these guys are good. It's kind of hard to gauge where everything's at. But as soon as I saw, like I said, the guy Tommy on our podcast, he was not happy about it. I was like, oh boy, here we
Well,
go.
he's not happy about the whole situation and everything. So right now he's just a mad Rams fan.
He's just
Um,
angry. The logo, the jersey, the
D,
stadium,
D,
everything.
DJ actually picks his college sports team by the mascot. So whoever has the coolest mascot that day, that's who he is picking.
Yeah,
No, but
all the brackets, basically best mascot. Who'd win in a fight, a bear or an eagle? And I'm like, a bear
Yeah,
would
and that's
win.
who he's going for.
I'm just saying the Rams did not have as bad as a draft as people are saying. But they still didn't fix much of the need of defense. They just went on their strengths of offense. But that's what happens when you got a guy like McVay who's kind of offensively heavy.
I agree.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
but then you have the GM though. You know,
Yeah.
GM's
But
supposed to put those things together.
our team, Rico, I think had one of the better drafts.
Yes, we did pick up a QB. So
And an inside linebacker, which we have not had
I-
since Junior Seau.
These guys
Yes.
are Chargers fans, by the way.
yes. I thought we need to work on more defense, but you know what? I think they're just really getting ready to put it on Tyrod Taylor as a quarterback, and we'll see what happens.
That's
doesn't work out.
frightening.
Yeah,
I've watched Tyrod Taylor play.
Mhm.
That's frightening.
I know.
No,
I think that's why they drafted a QB. So
He is very underrated, Tyrod. Telling you that.
That's
looks
true. I think
awful.
he'll go 4-12. They could go 5-11. You know, who knows?
No, he's very underrated. He actually is a very good controller of the game. He doesn't make many mistakes. I think he led the league one time with the least amount of interceptions. He runs the ball, so you have another second threat down the field if a play breaks down. The thing about him compared to Rivers or a rookie quarterback, he won't make the big mistakes. Oh God.
I am.
he's behind diehard.
Sorry,
Packers fan.
John. That might have been the worst draft ever.
I mean, there's lots of ways you can look at it. So I look at it as this. The coaching staff and the GM, they must have assumed that the only reason we lost is because the offensive line couldn't protect Aaron Rodgers for more than maybe 2 or 3 seconds. So we stacked the offensive line. We're going with our original core receivers from last year, which I mean you can't really complain about that. We made it to the NFC Championship game on a year that we were supposed to be rebuilding. So I see, I guess, where the coaching staff and maybe the GM, their thinking is like, hey, we got a good core of receivers. Obviously, we got one of the best quarterbacks ever.
And I've always said that about Aaron Rodgers. If he is still walking on the field, he is still dangerous. I don't care if you're down up by 14 points or 7 points. Watch out for Aaron Rodgers.
Then why do you draft a freaking quarterback with the first round pick and trade up? That's the problem.
Okay, let's look at the last time we had to put a backup in, Todd Hundley, and that was a disaster. Todd Hundley, and we can't have
Todd
that.
Hundley was the catcher for the Dodgers, wasn't
Yeah, he was. I think it was Brett Hundley, former
he?
UCLA
He was
player.
horrible too.
Getting them mixed up. Sorry.
Hundley?
Hey, they're still from LA, right? He's from
There
LA.
you go.
Technically, yeah, he went to UCLA, but he's from Arizona.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Bo Jackson, a 2-sport athlete.
Right. So I mean, yeah, we can't have another disaster like that where our backup quarterback can't make throws, he can't complete plays, basically. And so I understand the thinking behind drafting a quarterback, having somebody who's able to step in if in fact there is some. We don't even want to think about Rodgers getting hurt again.
Rodgers is turning
Yeah.
37, isn't he?
Yeah.
Say it.
You just don't want to imagine without Rodgers. But still, you could have got another quarterback in the second round. You still wasted a first round pick on a quarterback that's going to sit for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's like the worst thing you can do.
You never know, man. You never know. It might.
And the
might
worst
go-
thing about that is you trade up to get the first round pick
What was
more.
what was the Packers grade? I know you said that the Rams.
Oh,
got
it was
C+.
bad. I think they're getting
I
at
didn't
least
see
D.
it.
They're getting
Yeah.
like D's.
I didn't see it.
Well, and
I
then
didn't see it.
I understand about using Rodgers going with the core, but he still needs some help offensively, and you don't draft a receiver. You
No.
draft a quarterback first round, you draft a running back second round, and you have a couple of running backs that are pretty good. why you're not trying to give Rodgers weapons to help him this year.
They
I feel
we
like
made
Boost, I feel like Booster's
Honestly,
really
I feel
thought
like-
about this one.
Yeah,
Well,
He,
I feel
he
like
studied the Packer draft. That's what
right? I
happened.
feel like he's
Well,
tuning on this one.
I did a lot of research because I've been gambling. Okay.
There you
In-
go.
if I'm trying to pick their brains, all I can think of is maybe they needed to stack that offensive line just to give Aaron Rodgers a few more seconds.
You didn't
Yeah.
draft
Well,
an
I
offensive
read
lineman
something
until later.
online about that.
Honestly,
I
I feel
read
like
a theory online about that, and that is that they are basically preparing to move out of the Aaron Rodgers era.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
really
the
it.
thing.
So go to more of a run game, and how long can you build around a guy? Hey, and I went through this. I'm a Dolphins fan. I went through this with Dan Marino when he got late in his career. How long can you build a team around the skills of Dan Marino when he's getting up there and you know he's going to be there for 2 more years? That's where Rodgers is. Because I saw a drop off with Rodgers last year.
Oh yeah.
I love Aaron Rodgers, but
Yeah.
there was a drop off. So I think they're preparing for the future, and it could get
I don't doubt that.
uncomfortable for Rodgers. real soon.
I feel the exact same way. I think they are going into transition, and I think the Packers have always had a great transition game, right? Whether they went from Brett Favre to Rodgers and things like that, and I think it's the new era coming up now, right? They got to prepare for the post Aaron Rodgers era. I think
But you
that's what's happening.
guys were the NFC Championship game. When are you gonna give that?
But they weren't supposed to either, right?
You weren't.
Well,
They weren't
That's
supposed
supposed
to.
to be
they
that.
even got to the playoffs.
So
That was a
it's a gamble.
rebuilding year.
It's a definite
That
gamble.
was a rebuilding year, and,
Yeah.
and that's what we have to. That's
Yep.
our base for rebuilding. I'll take it.
Yeah, Charles, you guys got a pretty good draft pick with the quarterback on your end, right?
And
Go.
we got Tua. The Dolphins got Tua. So 1 year with Ryan Fitzpatrick, provided we have a season this year, and then I think it's Tua going in there. It's interesting. I was just thinking about how in the world we're going to go from where we are right now, just as a society, to 60,000 people sitting shoulder to shoulder in stadiums anymore.
Right.
How is that transition going to happen?
I honestly
win. How long
I
until
honestly like that
transition?
Tua pick, especially since you have
Yeah, I
Fitzpatrick
like
and
it.
It's a gamble. It's a gamble. He's prone to injury though. That's the only
especially
thing.
since you have Rosen and Fitzpatrick still there. You could give him 1 year, maybe even 2.
Yeah.
So he recovers.
I think Rosen. Rosen. Hmm.
He's not good right now, but I'm just saying you don't have to start him this year. Tua.
He's not good. Who, Rosen?
No, Tua. You can sit out the whole year.
Oh, okay, yeah. Right.
Most
Right, we just go
years
with
you are going to
Fitz this
sit.
year.
Yeah. You got to
And
learn
we'll
the
still
system.
win more games than the Chargers.
Hey, easy.
And
Hey,
then-
we'll block your video right
I
now.
think-
We'll
Next
block you
season.
out right now.
Hey,
I like this guy.
As I like to say about
Knock it
as I
off.
like to say about the Chargers, we are going to finish 5-12 or 4-12. Or we're going to be 10 and 6, 10 or 11-5.
It don't matter. We'll still be on the couch with the Rams fans, so I'm okay with that. Eric, who's your team, Eric?
The
I forgot
Packers.
Oh, the Packers. That's a you're a Packer fan too. That's right.
Wow.
Sorry to hear. No, I'm just
Double
kidding.
Packers. fan.
No, there's a huge Packer fan base. out
Sorry,
there,
I'm going
man.
milk hyper on everyone right now.
Yeah, I know. What about you, Lisa? Who do you got?
Who do I have?
Yeah, who's your football team?
American
Well,
football.
besides the Rams, it's the Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
Next year. Next year.
Hmm.
I actually like the Cowboys draft. I mean, now your offense is sick with
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the
what
only thing
what
is
Dak
what's
Prescott's gonna
happening
show?
with Dak Prescott's.
contract.
Yes.
Barry Jones
exactly.
doesn't have faith in Dak Prescott.
Yeah, but he's signed for next year though, so no matter what, next year's offense can be pretty fun to watch.
Yeah.
What do you think of their
Well, the
quarterback?
main thing they need to do is get rid of Garrett, which they did that.
Yeah,
Yeah, but what do you think about their quarterback pick, the backup, Danucci or something like that?
backups it takes time to develop. So either I mean, finding Dak in the 4th round and starting in the first as a rookie is very rare. That was like the hit of all hits. So the reason why Jerry Jones is allowed to sign all these players' contracts, Dak's contract's really cheap compared to most first-round quarterbacks.
But do you think Prescott deserves what he's asking for, which is like a gazillion $1 million?
I don't think any
You've
quarterback's
got to
worth
see
$1
Prescott
zillion.
without Jason Garrett coaching. That's what I'm
Yeah,
interested to see.
I'm kind of
Because
excited.
Garrett was a
about-
terrible coach.
Yeah, so I'm excited about their new coach coming up. So we'll see.
Mike McCarthy, former Packer coach.
I
We're gonna come full circle.
So
We'll
so
come
what's
back around.
isn't that the rumor where McCarthy's leaving and Belichick's coming in or to Green Bay or something like that?
No.
Right? Some rumor like that.
that would be freaking
What?
awesome.
That'd be crazy. Yes. So yeah, I mean, pretty good. I mean, the season's still up in the air, right? So draft pick or not, it's like, are we still gonna have football, right? There's many rumors about, well, it ain't gonna start in time. Uh, at least in California, Newsom said he is not gonna have any big gatherings for a long time here, right?
Yeah.
And
So
I
you
think
weren't. So no one was part of that the beach
Yeah,
run
he's pretty
this
upset
weekend.
at Orange County right now.
Down in
yeah,
Newport? Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, a lot of people at the beaches this week. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with the football season. So
Did he?
um,
I know. We were talking about it last week that Garcetti said that in the city of LA that there's most likely no large gatherings until 2021.
Yeah,
that's
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
they just today they canceled the Orange County Fair, so that's usually a big gathering in August or July.
So that's going to be interesting. Like, say California is on a longer, timeline as well as like, New York and other large metropolitan areas. But say, smaller market cities, they're already opening up and, do we play the games over here with no fans and the games over there with certain fans? Like, how does that work? Are they gonna all be on the same timeline together, or the league's gonna have, you know what I mean? Like, I think we say this every week. It's gonna be interesting to see the plan in which, going forward the leagues
Right.
operate, or
Yeah.
how or certain
Yeah.
cities are at advantages, certain cities are at disadvantages, and how all that, that all shakes out. That's gonna be, really
Well,
crazy to see.
at least the only positive about from last week to this week, the NHL, the NBA are actually in MLB are talking about how are they going to open up their seasons or start the playoffs. I mean, this is the first time in weeks that we have had any news about them for sure opening.
Like,
So I guess it's also like, what about the transportation of the players, right? Because that's also exposing them to like different types.
Yeah,
of
from what the prelim reports that we heard, they're supposed to be just quarantined between the hotel and the stadium, and that's it. That's the only place they can go. Everyone that works in those facilities are obviously going to be tested. The players are going to be tested, just to
and
make sure it's a safe environment. But you think about it, that's kind of hard, right? You have a family, right?
right,
Are your
yeah.
families allowed to come with you? Or are you going to be gone from your families for months and things like that?
And that's what Clayton Kershaw, Mike Trout does not want to happen during the Arizona or another
Cactus League, yeah.
Cactus League or Grapefruit League or whatever. Doesn't want to be isolated from the family.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because talking about the transportation specifically, I remember when everything first broke. I think Bustos had said there was a rumor that when I think the Nets were the first team that were like diagnosed with players other than the what was it, Jazz or something like that. When they
yeah,
realized it was
Utah
at
Jazz.
Staples Center, uh, the Nets played Monday or Tuesday, and then the Senators played the following day at Staples Center, and they were
With the
wondering
Kings.
how both teams, yeah, contracted the coronavirus, and they had said they have separate locker rooms. The only thing that they could possibly share is the
Was
bus
the bus
company,
company.
the bus company that
Or
would
the
bus them.
Right.
Yeah.
or the entrance where the bus company is. Buses get people in and out.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I think that the two would have shared, which is crazy to think about too. Something as harmless as just riding the same bus as a team that rode the night before, and multiple guys get the virus. That's crazy, and like you said, that's something to think about even when planning logistically where to go forward. That whole plan of how do you contain that within
Yeah.
them with themselves.
Well, they're going to have to inject Lysol into the buses.
Right? You gotta
And
think,
That's a good way
and
to
shine
disinfect
UV
the
light on
entire
you.
inside.
Shine
Yes,
UV light on you
exactly.
throughout the whole
And
ride.
that will
Yes.
definitely.
you gotta take a shot of bleach before you get on the bus.
So, John, I mean, we're all in California right now. As mentioned earlier, you moved out to Texas in about a few years ago. How is life out there under quarantine? I know you
Are they in
guys.
quarantine now? I thought they opened up.
Yeah, are the rules a little bit lax down there?
I see a lot of people posting different things about opening up their state. Our state is opening up in stages. I think the second stage starts on Friday, where they're going to open up malls and movie theaters. The only thing that they're still limiting is places like massage parlors, tattoo parlors.
Oh darn!
Yeah,
You gotta go to Georgia for that.
They're not essential.
stuff like that. Places where you're going to go and you're going to have human contact.
So no haircuts?
No haircuts still.
Oh God, our hairs.
Well, Eric doesn't have to worry about that. He's got long hair, so he's good. He's good to go.
And yeah, obviously I go the other way. I cut mine when I take a shower.
Every other week. Yeah.
Nothing
So-
to worry about here. But yeah, it's slowly starting to open back up. Honestly, I'm an auto mechanic. I haven't missed a day of work.
Yeah, you're essential. Definitely essential.
Okay.
People need their cars repaired. So
I have a question. So I know here in California we have our own view, and Texas views are a lot different compared to California views. What is the views of people in Texas about this whole situation?
They're more.
Remember, you're speaking for the entire state here.
the whole state of Texas.
Oh,
You
pressure.
represent
No
them right now,
pressure.
John.
As someone
Every
in a
city.
Dodger hat, I'm speaking for
Every
Uh,
city.
it's a little more relaxed here. There is not the protests of people saying, you know, our constitutional rights are being infringed upon by keeping us in our houses. I think people are more willing to play it safe and for the most part be cautious about wearing masks, about having gloves on, about visiting friends and family and stuff like that. There's obviously been a drop in traffic on the streets. You know, the stores aren't full of people walking around. There's still people out and about doing their.
Yep.
Do
I think we got a little lag there.
we lost him?
I think we lost his signal.
Yeah.
I don't think the
He
people
started
of
talking about Texas and the state cut him
yeah,
off.
the state cut him
We're
off.
talking forever.
Yeah.
Ian.
Yeah.
Texas ain't gonna be having that, man. They don't do that there.
They don't mess around and well, we'll wait till he logs back on or comes back
Yeah.
on. So
Okay.
Lisa, you're a sports photographer, and I know right now it's definitely hard not being able to photograph your sporting events. Tell us a little bit of a background of who you photographed before and kind of like what you miss with this whole Corona
Oh gosh,
quarantine right now.
it's crazy because it's as soon as we were told that everything is going to shut down. First, it started with LAFC, and then before you know it, Orange County Soccer Club. It was just like one after the other. Everything is just completely stopped for us unless you have even because it's not just I just don't do sports. I also do commercial and fashion. That stopped completely for me as well. So it's been like that from beginning of March up to now. So it's really difficult. So you just make do with what you have, and it's really crazy. And I miss the action. I miss the fans interaction. I miss the interaction with all the players.
Mhm.
I mean, those are it just gets your adrenaline going when you're out there on the field. I mean, the first pro match that I did was with the Chargers, which Rico knows.
God bless your heart.
But it's not fun when you're driving from LA County to San Diego every weekend. So
And I didn't know this about sports photography until I was talking to Lisa. Like she said, she photographed the Chargers, but I always thought about it. You have all those photographers out on the field, and they're just clicking away, right? Take a picture of this, take a picture of that. But they're actually assigned specific tasks, right? And I think your task was logos, right, or sponsorships.
Mine was sponsorships and game making sure
So
both of them correlates together.
So you had to make sure you had a shot of Phillip Rivers with the Gatorade logo on the background or
Yep.
something like that, right? So
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, like with the Chargers, my shot list would be like 2.5 pages
Mhm.
of shot list, and each one, a lot of them are timed. And then with LAFC, my pages are like 7 pages of just all over the place. So it could be on the field, it could be way up somewhere up in the rafters somewhere, or out and about with a lot of the fans. That's what I miss a lot. as far as my job is that interaction with all the fans, and those fans are amazing.
Yeah,
And
and
plus,
I always envy because I obviously do really amateur photography, but and I always watch like the professionals when I'm at at the events, and they're lugging all this equipment
oh yeah,
around, lots of lenses. I'm like, and they're running from up and down the bleachers, different spots. It's like
hmm
it looks tiring. That's why if you get tired, you should call Mindful Gains down there, get your cardio up. We'll plug you in
you
there.
know,
But it's just amazing what you guys do, just lugging all that stuff up and down and then stopping, getting on your knees, taking pictures, then moving
oh
to the
yeah.
next spot, Very
Well, the thing is, the best part about it is you see all these images, and it's like, wait, there's an angle here, an angle there. It's like, how they get that? Like for the Chargers, there probably is about six photographers there, and
hmm
we're all assigned in different areas. The same thing with LAFC, they have a pool of photographers on probably two or three on each corner. Where it comes for Orange County Soccer Club, I'm either myself or I hire another assistant, so we'll be on either end of, of the field. So
Hey
it,
everybody.
hi,
Hey,
Hey,
Christian made it.
Christian.
Right now I'm still in route back to where I'm staying at, but I can you guys can still hear my
Cool.
gorgeous voice. So
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
So I have a question for you. So how do you think this whole situation is going to change now for photography when everything starts going back to normal? Like, are they going to be limited to more access, more photographer, or less
it,
photographers getting these
it's so hard for us.
shots?
It's really hard for us to tell as far as how it affects us, because no matter what, those images still needs to be there for the league. And I'm not sure as far as sponsorship is concerned, but the league definitely needs to have those images. So hopefully it wouldn't impact us as much. It might cut back, 50% or a little bit lesser than that, but we won't know until we start back up there on the field. And from the last time we heard it was supposed to be middle of May, but it looks like it's going to be in June before we can possibly even see the field. So
Amazing. And you mentioned you did some fashion photography, right,
mhm,
Lisa? You
yeah,
tell the guys here who you helped photograph before he was traded away. I thought it was cool you did that.
before who was traded away.
One of our
Oh,
LA,
oh, what do you call it? Who did I? Jonathan Bernier.
yes, yeah.
Ooh.
So and this was when he was actually still, doing really good. And I'm looking at Lisa's Facebook. I'm like, hey, let's Jonathan Bernier. She got to actually do a photo shoot for him. So
That's
I
pretty
thought,
cool.
and
He's
some other,
actually a really cool guy.
yeah. And what are some other athletes you were able to photograph in the past?
Well, besides photographing, well, we did Tiago's splitter, Carlos Boozer. We did. Uh,
Los Angeles Lakers legend Carlos Boozer.
Yeah.
well, we
1
did
year.
KCP. We did George Wilson from the Titans, Tennessee Titans. JJ Watts. We
Cool.
also did Victor Oladipo, Nerlens Noel,
That's
Steven
awesome.
Adams, and we did actually Matt Gournier. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. He
Mm.
was a Dodger baseball.
Oh, Matt Gurrier.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you pronounce it.
What
That's
was your
where I thrive. Random former Dodgers.
What's your favorite part about being a photographer?
uh, like I said before, it's all the interaction and getting to know the players, especially when you're like a team photographer for a specific team. You really get to know a lot of the players, and they get in touch with you. You joke around with them, and before you know it, it's like sharing whatever. It's really amazing to get to know them. And a lot of times they have misconceptions. Some of these players are kind of aloof or stuck up or whatever, but they're not. They're actually amazing people. You just need to get to know them.
That's awesome though. Just being able to have that kind of experience. Obviously, it's a job that you get to work close by with these athletes in itself is something that I'm sure many people are envious of. Just the level of closeness that you get, the behind the scenes kind of stuff that you
Oh
get
yeah.
to experience.
It's so
It's
funny. I hear so many people, you need assistant, I'll carry your bag, I'll
all
carry
right.
your cash, or
That's where I was getting.
I
That's
think
what I was
I've
getting
enough
to
offer to
next.
do that. I was like, let me carry
actually
your
even
lenses or
offer
something.
that.
That was my
That's
follow up question. Do you need any help when you're?
it looks like
There you go.
it looks like everyone's trying to be your assistant. I
Yeah,
will let them have your job because that looks like a lot of luggage to carry around
it's a
It's a
from.
lot
lot
of
of
it's a lot
luggage.
of
I
work.
carry one of those carts that you pull sometimes at the beach or whatever, and those are packed with stops. And I mean, you have a lens probably like 25, 30 pounds that you carry around with you. So
Just one of them, and
that's
they're
just one of
carrying
them. So
multiple lenses and multiple cameras.
I'm
Yeah.
good at grabbing lunch. I'm gonna one up everyone.
I'm just gonna throw that in.
Yeah, I'll throw that in.
yeah,
Cool.
but
Well,
it's amazing. One of these days, I'd like to hopefully shoot for the Dodgers. Who knows? I love
That's when you
baseball.
get one of us as the assistant.
Oh, there you go.
That's the day.
preferably me.
Yeah,
I should be your favorite
yeah,
host right now.
hey,
Your entourage. We're gonna be here.
behind the scenes with on of a life of a video
Photographer.
camera person,
There you go.
photographer.
It's
Yes.
fun.
Good. Well, thank you for that, man. I'm sure a lot of people have always wondered what goes on in sports photography, and it's just not snapping pictures. There is definitely
No.
I have a
a lot to
question,
them.
and I don't want people to know this. I want to know how long are you there at the stadium before and
Yeah.
after the game?
With the Chargers, let's say if it's a 1 o'clock game, we were there at 8 o'clock in the morning. If it's an evening game, we're there at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I usually don't get home until probably this is just the Chargers. I usually would get home about 2 o'clock in the morning if we have an
Wow.
evening match. And then from 2 o'clock until 8 o'clock, I'm processing pictures because those has to be in their server by 8 o'clock in the morning. As far as soccer is concerned, usually for LA, I'm usually there like about 2.5 hours, 3 hours. Same thing for OC. So you're there, and then you're there probably another extra 2 hours after.
Yeah, that's a aspect that no one ever thinks about. Like I know DJ, me, Christian, we get there early at stadiums, and we see all you guys walking in like earlier. They're already set up before we are even in the stadium, and they were there early.
Oh yeah. I mean, we have the LAFC photo group. They're there a lot earlier, and they're there until possibly 4 or 5 hours after the game.
That's
So
long
it's
work,
crazy.
hard hours. It's not
A
just
lot of work, a
showing
lot
up
of
taking
luck around.
pictures. Yeah.
Yeah. Not definitely not a lot of strength that you need and just endurance. Just to photograph a 2-hour game. Because that can extend 8 hours, right? Just
Sometimes
moving
8
around.
hours, sometimes 10 hours.
Yeah.
So is there a workout for the fingers though?
Yeah, let's there you go. So speaking of
Spencer.
working out during this whole thing, we actually have Eric and Jen from Mindful Gains and kind of give us your insight right now, how to stay in shape, how to eat well during this whole COVID-19 lockdown.
There
Because
you
I know
go, Rico. You make that
I
plug.
plug the hell out of it. I want a discount on my next class. Anyways,
For sure. That was his
but
setup.
yeah, I know a lot of people are having a hard time because gyms just closed, and it's like, where do we go now? Your guys is, gym. Obviously, you guys had to close it to meet with regulations and requirements. And I know everyone I've talked to are definitely missing it. So, what are you guys doing, or what you recommend to your clients? How did you stay in shape during this time?
A lot of home workouts. We actually did, we were asked by everyone to do like Zoom videos, and you can see a lot of people doing different Zoom workouts, which work out really well because I think that part of the part that people miss the most about working out is kind of being social, right? We started to see like
especially our group.
Yeah, we're like a knit-type group. We call ourselves like a Mindful Gains family, and like so we'll Zoom each other or FaceTime each other just to say hello or see how each other's doing, because it was an everyday thing where you see everyone and you work out and you're kind of talking about your diet and what works and what doesn't work. And like everyone in the group had a different diet from what we saw, but we could see the consistency and the dedication to it all. So I think if anything that we could say is to take like baby steps, right? Start start with the 1 week process and say, okay, this week I'm going to work 3 times a week and I'm going to drink, my 8 glasses of water or whatever it is that you've decided to commit with, and start with attainable goals so that you don't get discouraged. I think that that's really like the first step.
Yeah, same with the workouts. It doesn't take much to do anything. I mean, I normally run right now with the Zooms, the 40-minute classes. It's really simple stuff, just high knees, jumping jacks, keeping your heart rate up, taking little breaks. It's literally 30-second workout, 20-second rest, 30-second workout. It's not much. I mean, you don't need a lot of equipment. Some equipment helps, but I mean, honestly, I'm honestly just doing all body weight. And like I always tell everybody that jumps on that's new, like, don't watch everybody else. Stay at your pace, because some people do want to be competitive and they want to keep up with those ones that have been with me almost a year now, and they're out of breath. I'm like, just you go at your pace. Don't worry. Once you're ready to go, stop, jump back in. I mean, everybody always tells you, "Oh my God, you're intense." All the classes are intense, but it's really a lot of like Rico, a lot of other ones that have been with me. They've been with me for a year, and I've put them through a lot. And people that come in, they see it, they're like, "I want to do that sled. I want to do the kettlebell." I'm like, "Okay, just calm down."
I've never hated and loved the person at the same time so much in there. No, yeah, definitely great workouts. I mean, like I said, it's tough. With us, we're always just like, man, can't the gym just open back up? Can we do something else? But yeah, the home workouts is great. Eric and Jen provide great videos, great workouts. And if there's, what are some things you can do, Eric, if you have no equipment at all? You mentioned you could do jumping jacks. Are there? Can you lift like pots and pans or something? What are some things that you would recommend?
I have people grab the big pots, put them on the floor, toe taps on them, high knees over them, step overs, step ups. If you have water bottles, you can use those as weights, even water gallons.
Got a plank, man.
Yeah,
plank.
I tell everybody,
planks are magnificent.
Yeah, I agree.
Work your core out.
On you. Anything.
We did a workout. I haven't been working out as consistently as the rest of the group because I have a new job and it's just more demanding. And so like my workouts have been lighter. And I did a full workout with them. Like the first Zoom one, I was like, oh, I'm working from home now. I'm going to do it. And I did what Eric did. I went all in. The next day I could not move. I was like, I really don't want to get out, but I'm going to work out because I don't want to be sore the next day.
Definitely.
I think that's another point. Like once you do it once, make sure to continue it, because the first 2-3 days are the hardest, but after that, like once you really get it down, you're gonna keep going.
Yeah, once that soreness leaves your body, you're good. The first 2 days, 3, everybody's like,
screw that. The first workout was the killer, man. So funny story. I joined these guys like last year, right? Oh, my nephew and niece actually said, hey, check out this new trainer. He's pretty cool. He's local. So me and Cynthia were like, okay, let's go check it out. It's so much a class and all that, So Eric's like, yeah, meet me at, the local high school and we'll do a workout. So I get there and I'm like, all right, what are we doing, bro? What are you doing? He's like, okay, so we're going to run a lap around this high school track. I'm like, okay, I haven't ran since junior high, whatever. No big deal. Okay, cool. And then once you're done with your lap, you're going to run up and down all the bleachers. I'm like, okay, no bleachers, no big deal. He's like, but the first set, I don't know. I think the first, you had to do like push-ups after every like step. And then the next set you had to like jump. It was a killer work. I literally thought my soul left my body 20 minutes into that. And then I thought the workout was done. And he's like, okay, we're going to do a burnout. I'm like, what the hell is a burnout? I'm new to this exercising thing.
I think I'm done after like one of those laps. I'll be in the hospital bed somewhere.
Oh, that's what I felt like. And then he's like, so he takes us to the middle of the football field. He puts us on the goal line. He said, okay, you guys are going to bear crawl to the 10-yard line. I'm like, what the hell is a bear crawl? I am not a bear, He's like, when you get back, then you're going to sprint to the 20-yard and get back. You're going to bear crawl to the 50-yard. I'm like, I thought we just finished our workout, It's just like,
here's the question I have.
Is this like for day 2? What's going on here?
Rico, did you puke?
No, no, not at
Not
that
yet.
one.
Not yet.
I think my body left my soul before it allowed me to puke. But it literally was the hardest workout. And after that, like the second one, I mean, I think we were all super sore. Like Eric said, you just gotta keep doing it, and your soreness will go away, which is weird, right? You always think you're sore. I don't want to do anything, but sitting around makes it worse,
Yeah.
than what it is. But after
So
that, man, bear crawling is no problem now, or
Eric,
push-ups, yeah.
Eric said he has a new challenge for you now to get you to puke on the next workout.
Oh,
That's the one we know.
I did at one time, or close. Yeah, I threw up a little bit. Yeah, I
Eric,
think
just
it
don't
was
put
a leg
anyone
day,
else
man.
on it. We don't need the rest of the Hooligan
Oh.
group. Doesn't need to be in a workout group.
No, we're
In the-
all gonna do it. We're all gonna film an
Honestly,
episode
yeah.
when he opens up.
Cynthia in the comments is saying burpees.
Ah, yes.
Also, Jim T saying 16-ounce curls and curl fosters.
I'm doing a 12-ounce curl right now. So,
I wish I had the soundboard.
so Eric makes us do a burnout, and you have to do a burpee to the song Roxanne. So every time he says Roxanne on the song, you got to do a burpee. Now just sing the song in your head. Just the first minute. Imagine how many burpees that is already.
I got a
It's a
question.
4.5-minute song. Damn it!
I got a question though. Okay, because I didn't realize that there was a new Roxanne.
Oh yeah, there is.
Oh yeah.
No, not much fan. That one's no good.
I don't know this new
There's
stuff.
the new Roxanne.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a new one.
Amazing. So thank you, Eric, for giving us your input on how to just basically stay in shape during definitely this whole coronavirus.
Our buddy Kurt from Teal City Crew said milk jug filled with water, tape the bottom of the lid. I guess that's his go-to
DJ
quarantine workout.
DJ,
My
imagine
mom's,
hey,
my mom's
DJ,
in the
imagine
comments over here like, "Where's Christian?" I'm like, "I'm on camera."
Oh yeah, and also Christian's mom asking where Christian's at. Christian, you gotta
Eric,
go home,
someone
Christian.
asked you, what do you charge for your classes?
So I have monthly deals and daily. So the daily ones, it's $5 a day if you come here and there. It includes a shake, a protein shake after your workout. I have the monthly. There's two plans. I have a $55 one, which is 3 days a week, and you choose your 3 days that you know you're gonna come. That way, I don't give you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you can't come Monday, Tuesday, or Monday, Wednesday. So I want you to pick it so you can show up. And then the other one is $100, which is Monday. It includes everything, Monday through Sunday, pretty much. I do pop-up classes at the beach.
Those are fun.
Yeah, those are really fun. So yeah, Rico knows. I know.
I ain't running in sand. I'm not running in sand. No. No.
And for the ladies, Jen teaches pop-up classes too. She has a booty class that if you guys want to work on your glutes, ladies, she will.
Hear that,
definitely teach you how to
Bustos?
work. See that? See that, Josh?
Everyone needs glutes.
And Josh, you have to go there. Josh, you go there to work out, not to watch.
Hey, DJ, imagine if we actually got us the whole gang down there and videotape this. How funny that would be.
We're all gonna puke.
Let's do it.
We'll be on the
That would be
puke
hilarious.
list.
Hey, first class is on me, guys.
I
I'm
would be
willing to pay
sweating
for
like
you
a
guys.
James Gandolfini.
Yeah, if you want to go there en masse, I will be there. I will be there en masse. I will outperform all of you who are
There you
20
go,
years
Charles.
younger than me.
There you go.
I'm
I'll
not
take
I'll
challenge
that
you.
protein shake.
Hey, I'd be the first one to tap.
I
I'm
normally pay
guaranteed
more than
that.
that for a shake anyways.
I feel like no one's denying that you will beat us.
I'll be
Let's
there.
do an initiation video.
An initiation.
Right?
I think Tommy. I actually would like to see how Tommy would do because Tommy would beat all of us, but he would be like yelling at us, like, "Get your butt back up, and you need to do it."
I'm not ready. I'm not ready to
Hey,
try on
verbally
camera.
abused me.
Tommy and I were the only ones that did the push-up challenge. We're still waiting for you guys to do it. So
That
no
is
one did
true.
it but Tommy and I.
Yeah, I only could do half, so that's not gonna be on my video.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Eric, for if any other ways they can join the class right now if they're interested. You said you have a Zoom?
I do Zooms. Just follow us on Mindful Gains. I normally post. It's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I post it the day before or the day of. It's 6:30. If you guys can make it and you guys say you guys want the code, I'll send you the code. And then that's pretty much it. It's free. No, you don't need anything. Just if you want to work out, just send me a message and I'll send you the code.
I know I had to run to do something really quick when you were introduced. How do you think the whole situation? How many people have been doing these videos while in quarantine or following all your guidelines?
What do you mean, like all the home workouts?
Yeah.
It varies how many people log in, but we've had anywhere from 10 to our normal people that are with us. It's awesome. We have a family that does, I think there's a family of 4 and they do it every single day. They haven't missed one and they all do it together, which is nice to see.
Kids including too, right?
Yeah, the kids do it too. They really like.
Honestly, I would like more kids to do it because it's all body weight, so it's even better for them. Instead of using weights, the normal body weight for a lot of people, honestly, it works a lot more better.
Yeah, they enjoy it.
Put more repetitions in.
Oh yeah.
Eric and Jen, I got a question. Have you considered continuing the Zoom workouts after the quarantine's over?
Yes, we actually have. We talked about it because we have some of our Mindful Gains family that moved into different parts. So like we have people that like left Victorville and so we thought maybe if we do like a Zoom meeting, that they could join into the workouts, or at least post the workout so they could follow it with us. Yeah.
Nice.
We think
that'd be a good way to continue growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just followed you on Facebook, by the way. So
thank you. Thank you for the follow.
Well, thank you, Eric and Jen. Yes, we definitely miss you guys. Definitely miss seeing you guys and working out with you guys. So.
Are you sure, Rico? I heard you were cheating a lot.
Oh, I just told you I had Chinese food earlier. I ain't denying that. And a beer right now. So
we miss all the. That's what she said. That's what she said.
Yeah.
I guess Rico's doesn't want quarantine to end too early because he doesn't want to go back to all his workouts.
No, the workouts are fun.
On the Zoom, they're giving me burpees when they come back.
Oh wow! Sorry, your mic was muted there, Eric. Didn't hear you.
Sorry, you've been kicked off the show for now.
Yeah, your time's up, man. Thank you for that. So John came back. We lost connection with him earlier.
Yeah.
John, you have kids who were active in sports prior to this whole thing, and that came to a stop. So
a complete halt.
And that must have been a killer, not only for the kids but for you also, right?
More so for the wife.
Yeah. And cool thing too, John. One of John's daughters played for the Little Kings program and did that prior to them moving out. And very good program. I've had other family members who are partook in it, and it is a cool beginners program. If you ever want to get your kids started in hockey with zero experience, Little Kings is the place to be.
Highly recommended. And I've noticed that regardless of where you're at, there's lots of programs like that multiple organizations are putting together for kids just getting introduced into the sport. And it's usually very minimal fee. I know with the Little Kings organization, there was a registration fee, but I mean, we got a ton of gear. She got a full get up.
It's like for $110, I think, and you get gear from head to toe, including skates.
Head to toe.
It's pretty cool.
They didn't have that when I was a kid.
Stick, everything.
Right.
And plus, you get all that the coaching, the instruction, the training.
By Kings alumni. It's not just some coach, some beer league coach or something. You're actually getting coached by Daryl Evans, Jim Fox,
people that
our
are
Army, all of them.
Nelson Emerson Johnson.
Yes. Yeah. I can't say enough about that organization. Unfortunately, my daughter has not continued playing hockey. She still loves the sport. We still go to all every time the Kings are here in Dallas, we go to a game. Unfortunately, it was this last March. They were supposed to be here on the 24th. That's actually the day before her birthday. We had tickets. The whole family was gone, and it got canceled.
So she got her heart broken twice. If you don't mind, tell us a story about when Kyle Clifford got traded.
Ooh.
Was it Kyle or was it Jake Muzzin? Which one was it?
I think she
it was Toffoli. It was
with Kyle Clifford.
Just say the whole 2000, all the old Stanley Cup players.
I think it was Toffoli, right? Which one was her favorite player?
Her favorite is Toffoli.
I feel those feels, man.
That was tough. I dreaded breaking the news to her. I think I called my wife into the room and said, "How do we tell her?"
It's a big family discussion.
Christian, how did you handle that situation?
It was.
And I got to point this out. I'm actually sitting in her bedroom right now. This is her room.
Wow.
This is not my man cave. This is my 11-year-old daughter's bedroom.
I like the decorations though. Can't complain.
Yeah.
It was
I'm digging
funny
that LA Galaxy scarf.
Galaxy
because
Yankees.
Yep.
I think
Up
we
there.
Hooligan or LA Kings means we were one of the first ones that posted that Toffoli was going to get traded prior to them to officially announcing it because we got some insider information. And I think John hit me up. He said, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "She's going to take it so hard." I was like, "Well, she's going to find out sooner or later." So he actually recorded and sent it to me, the conversation he had with her. His poor daughter was so heartbroken. I think it was during dinner time. She was actually eating. He broke the news to her. She spit her food out and said, "I can't eat anymore," or something. "I can't take this anymore."
That was 100% true. She spit her food out and like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, she was heartbroken.
How old is your daughter first? Because we don't.
11.
Okay.
11.
Welcome to sports. Breaking
heartbreak. This is
heartbreak.
Yeah, and you know, I kind of bring my kids up that way. Like life is full of disappointments. Get used to it, kind of thing. So,
and she was probably the second most heartbroken person in the world, and Christian being the first most heartbroken person when the Toffoli trade happened.
There goes my connection to possibly getting dugout club seats.
I mean, didn't he have like an amazing 2 weeks right before the trade?
He had an amusing 2 days before that.
The Stadium Series game.
He had his hat trick.
Christian was so mad at us every time we joked around about trading Toffoli.
Yeah, we joke around that Christian was one of Toffoli's kids, one of his last sons.
Yeah.
His brother Dodger Toffoli.
Yeah.
Christian always had a connection. Somehow we'd find Tyler's wife either at Dodger Stadium or at the Kings game, and always be like hitting him up. On Twitter, and he'd always be rubbing it in all of our faces. So as soon as the news broke, we were like, "Oh God, someone find Christian.
Someone go watch him. Someone make sure he's okay."
We need to do a welfare
corner somewhere in the fetal position.
Yeah, you need to do a welfare check on Christian because Toffoli just got sent to where did he go, Vancouver?
To Vancouver of all teams, yeah. So I mean,
I was mad it was Vancouver. I'm like, really? You know, you're gonna trade in the division to like a team that I absolutely hated.
Yeah,
it was a good trade though. Good trade, the Kings. Good return.
We did get some good returns. So Charles, you wrote a lot for the Kings with a lot of sports journalism. What are you missing right now? I know you retired, but I'm sure you still keep in with the mix and stick with the news and have a lot of input on there. Tell us your experience with writing for the Kings back then.
Well, I actually wrote independent, so technically I never wrote for the Kings. I wrote about them.
Yep.
They never signed me a check or anything. But anyways, I'd say that one of the things that was just missing the my colleagues in the press box and also the fans that I saw all the time, even if I didn't get to know them, but you just saw the same people all the time who really loved the team. But one of the things was interviewing players, which I think, I humbly say I think I did better than pretty much anyone out there.
Charles does have some. Charles has some epic interviews out there, very good ones.
Hey, I've played hockey since 1975.
Yeah. Need some pointers on how to interview people.
Well, here's what it comes down to. Here's how I always went into an interview, no matter who it was. I had pretty much 3 questions I had formulated, and I was going to ask them those 3 questions basically to get them to open up. Now, if question number 1 makes them open up, then we just follow after that because we're in a rhythm now. But if I don't get you to open up with number 1, you just kind of give me a base answer, then we'll go to number 2. If that doesn't trigger anything, we go to number 3. If that doesn't trigger anything, basically we're done, but still I've got a minute and a half of good interview with you. But I think one of the things that really, when you see bad interviews, you'll see a reporter asks a player a question, the player is talking about it, and then when the reporter gets the mic back, they go 180 degrees opposite direction. And I think that lets the player know that really what they're saying is not what's important. You have a reporter who has his own agenda.
Yeah.
And that's why I think players get kind of turned off. You have to talk to them like people. You're talking to a hockey player about hockey, and it's about him. It's not about you and how brilliant a journalist or a reporter or whatever you are. It's they want to hear from him. I may know a lot about the game. I just watched it, I play it and everything, and I write about it. But you want to hear it from the player. My job is to get him to open up and give the fans what they really want.
You ever interviewed Daryl Sutter? Just curious.
Okay, my best Sutter story I did, but when he first got to the team, I was there when he first started interviewing, so I was used to the 1 and 2 word answers. And one of the reporters who had missed the first few games, she came in to interview Sutter. And everybody but her knew what was going to happen. So she gives him this beautifully formulated question, and he just kind of mumbles 2 or 3 words at her. And it was like, it was an inside joke. Everybody was standing around like, watch this, watch this. And then I actually audibly giggled. And I didn't find out till later on that she was offended by that. And then I had to tell her the whole story about how she was the only one who didn't know what was going to happen when she asked that question.
And for
but
those who
my giggle was audible.
And she heard. And for those who don't know much about Daryl Sutter, he was a former Kings coach. And when you interviewed him, you could have a long 5-sentence question. He will answer you with 1 word.
Yeah.
And sometimes those
Yep,
answers,
probably so.
some of those answers made you scratch your head. Like, what did he mean by that? Right? Park and ride was a big one, right? Ask,
I
why they lost,
that.
what's going on, and his answer was just park and ride. And he'd
I love the coaches who give you the short answers.
What the hell is park and ride? But no, very, very cool guy personally. If you've ever met Daryl Sutter, whether it was from a fan experience, autograph session, he was actually cool. Very, very cool guy. So
okay, so hey guys, I have to take off actually because I run drugs for a living now.
Hey, cool, man. Let's hook up.
You gotta make a living, bro.
It pays
that
the bills.
coronavirus, man, got everyone working hard right now.
Yeah, let me explain. I'm an independent contractor and I drive for a pharmacy. All nursing homes and care facilities get their meds from dedicated business-to-business pharmacies. So every night I drive and hit about 10 of these places and drop off the meds. So that's what I got to go do. But one thing I want to leave you with, my last article I really wrote about the Kings, it was about Jonathan Quick. I'd like you to just find it online as a good quick read. It's The Greatness of Jonathan Quick. It's on axis.com. So AXS.
Yes, thank
A
you,
as in
Charles.
Apple, X as in X-ray, S as in Sam. Okay?
Yeah, everyone check
thank
that
you for
out
joining
sure.
us, Charles. I
And
appreciate
if you
it.
have me, I'll be back next week, okay?
Sure
I will
thing.
get you back when hockey for sure. Talk more hockey.
Yes, and thank you for coming on to the show. We appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah.
Pleasure to have you,
All right. Peace out, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Later, Charles.
Yeah, so I mean, that's cool to hear. Obviously, those kind of behind the scenes stuff,
Yeah,
especially about
Charles
Sutter.
actually cool.
Yeah.
He actually plays hockey too. We did that charity game a few years ago, and he was actually he's a defenseman. So he still got it, man. He said, like you said, he was 50, but he still got it in him. So
Yeah,
God bless him.
he definitely already challenged all of us to the Mindful Games. What is it? Not the work. I guess the full workout. What did he say that he was gonna?
I just sent Eric all your guys' email information, so he'll be contacting you to make sure you guys show up to these next workouts.
Delete.
I'm good at following up.
Yes, classes are 6:30 and 8 o'clock, guys. See you there. Or I know 5:30. It's actually 5:30 and 7 now. Yeah.
I'm not even up until like 9 o'clock now since quarantine.
No, this is in the evening, not the morning. In the evening, so you got time.
I'm at the golf course working soon.
Oh, we'll close that down.
Yes. I should have my men's volleyball team join in on this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have the whole
We would love to have everyone.
No, but when Seth was talking about kids missing the games and during this pandemic and stuff, and how much it affects them because they're there on the field or wherever they're doing daily, just imagine the collegiate level.
Oh,
Like I'm an assistant coach for a men's volleyball team for college. We have like 7 seniors that did not even finish we're like halfway into our season. We
Oh
couldn't
my
even
God.
finish
It's
anything.
crazy.
And so, and it's really, it's your heart breaks for them, for all these athletes that can't continue what they're they need to do or they want to do. They work so hard trying to play in college and they couldn't even finish their senior year, which is
yeah,
really sad. One thing that's great about what they're doing is both NAIA and NC2A is this becomes like a redshirt year for them. So they're
hmm
not even using up their eligibility this year. So they can go back next year if they want to, if they have more time to play or to school and just continue back and hopefully finish their
Yeah,
senior
and
year.
that's
It's
cool
really
input,
sad.
Lisa, because last week we actually had two high school coaches on here, and we got their input from a high school perspective. Now we're getting the college perspective,
Oh
as
yeah.
you being a college coach. So that's yeah, it's sad. We talked about that. It's heartbreaking to see these seniors that aren't able to finish out their last year
Oh yeah.
to experience their senior year, whether in college or in high school. It's like because those are the memorable years of your life, right? And now it's marred by this historic 2020 virus event. Like that's my senior year.
Yeah,
I stayed home.
exactly.
you
Right.
know, no fun, and unfair to them. But what can you do?
Yep.
Right.
That goes for a lot of kids,
Yeah,
I mean, even in school, my daughter, my 11-year-old, she is, they're at milestone years,
yeah,
going from elementary school to next year. She's going to be going to junior high school,
Yeah.
and that transitional period, the sending off from the elementary school, she's going to miss all of that. My youngest one, she is transitioning from pre-K at preschool to actually going into actual kindergarten, where she's in a new school. She's actually going to school, and it's the send off and the transition has been marred, and it's not something that these poor kids are ever going to experience. And
Oh yeah.
there's no way sitting at home and doing classroom by Zoom is going to fix that or replace it, and it's kind of sad. It
Okay,
really.
I have
yeah.
a question for you, Johnny. Since I don't think any of our guests had much kids around, how is it teaching kids their Zoom classes?
Um, like I said earlier, I haven't missed a day of work, so I'm going to work every day.
Okay, from your wife's perspective.
My wife is at home all day with the girls. The Zoom classes, to be honest, I think the older teachers are having an issue with the technology
Yes,
and the communication.
yeah,
Um, that's the only issue we've seen so far is communication and the different outlets that they got to use, because we're using Google Classroom. We're using another website that I honestly can't remember the name of right now, but there's like 2 or 3 different areas where their assignments might be located, and sometimes tracking that down is a task. Uh, Other than that, it's good. My daughter wakes up at almost normal time, 7:30 every morning. She gets on her laptop and she checks in to school. Um, they have a specific question that they have to answer in the morning. Is basically, how are you feeling today? And I guess they have it's a multiple choice question, where you can pick confused, tired, angry, sad, happy, a range of different options. But there's very good communication with the teachers. We haven't had too many questions about the work, from my daughter, because the Zoom is working pretty well as far as like I said, communication between teacher and student. Um, the other thing they using Zoom for is my daughter's competitive soccer, and they have started. They do 2 Zoom sessions a week where the coach will get on and all the players will jump on and they will mimic the coach's drills and the exercises that he's doing pretty much basically in the hallway of his apartment complex. And
Wow.
so it's there's no running. There's a lot of ball control and a lot of cerebral training, thinking about the game and approaching it from a different perspective. And it's really, I can honestly, I see the improvements in my daughter as a soccer player in just the workouts that she's doing in her bedroom
That's
and in the
crazy.
backyard.
That's great.
Liz, as a college coach, are you having able to meet with your men's team volleyball players in different?
Yeah, our head coach, we do our Zoom meetings once a week. We'll do probably a class that we need to just kind of go over it, and it could be serving, hitting, whatever, whatnot, whatever he wants to do. And then daily, we do. One of our assistant coaches provide a workout in our group meeting, and each one of them are supposed to be doing whatever the workout that we give them, and then they submit a video to us just to make sure that they're constantly doing something. They're not just sitting at home playing video games or whatever that they're doing.
Eh,
We just want them to be constantly doing something and not just besides doing their online classes, since they are athletes and their body is accustomed to working out 3 hours every day, that they need to be doing something. Because when we come back, hopefully when we come back in August, September, whenever it is, we're going to be back on the court all over again, and we just want to make sure that they maintain their their health wise, their strength and everything. And John, you were talking about your daughter taking classes with where their coaches. My daughter is a head coach for a club team for volleyball, and they
okay.
do exactly the same thing. They
Yeah.
do their workouts, and they're doing. She's in their office or whatnot, and they do their Zoom workouts, their exercises, and whatever they need to do. And at the same time, they work about their mental game,
Yes.
and that's really important a lot with a lot of the kids.
And honestly, I think it's an area that's missed
Mhm.
at a younger age is the mental aspect of approaching a game. Uh, what am I doing without the ball? What am I doing anticipation wise before I get the ball? And thinking about mentally preparing during the game and obviously before the game. It brought a new level.
Oh yeah. And I think it's not just what it is that they need to do with the ball, but it's also the mental strength. So that way they're not going into depression because they're not out there on the field or on the court or anything like that. So they're doing a lot of this exercises to what they. My daughter even said they do this Mamba mentality type of thing to really strengthen up their mind and make sure that they're not depressed about anything because they're not with their classmates, they're not with their friends, they're stuck at home
Yeah,
doing whatever else that they need to do just to prepare themselves. And it's really sad what it's doing to a lot of, not just for to us, but to everybody, and especially with the younger kids, the younger generation that can't really understand
they don't.
why
Yeah,
this is happening.
right. They have a hard time comprehending. And you know what? Honestly, it's forced us to pretty much transform our backyard.
Oh yeah.
During in the last month, I think I've mowed grass half a dozen times maybe, and I know I've put up a trampoline. So yeah, it's brought a whole new challenge to keeping the kids active and keeping them engaged.
You
Yeah.
just start getting creative.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
Or
Definitely.
you guys can sign up for Mindful Gains and get them enrolled.
yeah, I was actually gonna
Plug
say
everybody.
this
I'm trying
kind
to
of
plug everyone.
yeah, this kind of always comes back to mindful gains and
It's like
their Zoom
everybody in my
workouts.
house.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
what Lisa can do during the home workout, she can screenshot a Zoom session, and that be her, sports photography for your kid right there. See?
I like
There
it.
you go.
Screenshot button.
Lisa, I have a question.
Sure.
Along the photography lines, do you by chance know a gentleman named Vince Perosi?
No, who did he shoot for, or who did
No, nobody. And I know he started when I was in California, and his daughter was on my soccer team. It was a hobby of his,
Oh,
and
okay.
during this last season, he actually got invited and did a shoot for one of the Chargers games. And I saw the MVP Action Pics is his website, is his
How
company.
fun.
Also, right now in the comments, Jim B is asking Lisa, have you thought about doing Zoom classes for photography?
I've never really thought about that. I mean, that's probably something that I should consider. But I've never really thought about that. Right now, I'm like dying to be out on the field, that I'm literally going to start doing some macro photography just for my sanity. And I have little itty bitty action figures that I'm gonna probably set them up and do some kind of a scenery and shoot them just to be creative.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's cool.
you do have.
Awesome.
If you don't do it on Zoom, you can definitely put like on YouTube and create your own channel about photography.
Probably, yeah.
Or yeah, film your macro photography. There
Yeah,
you
there
go.
you go. I can have my daughter film it and then just
Yeah, do
let
something
them
with
show
it.
it exactly what I'm doing. But it should be hopefully, that's my, like I've been doing daily posts. Like I think March I did a daily post of all sports, and then April would been just fashion, and then May would be all macro photography. It's just something to do.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
not to get crazy.
Christian, I know we're talking about Zoom. Did you actually get on that Dodger Zoom chat? If Christian can unmute, if you can hear us. Did anyone go? Anyone doing the Dodger Zoom chat today?
I tried, but I didn't get the invite. I saw it way too late. I saw it like way later in the day, but
I don't know how they were going to do 1,000 people on one Zoom chat.
and then
That is
Christian said it changed to 10,000. I was
Oh
like,
my!
how?
How do
They changed it 10,000 like the other day, and I just got accepted. So
Did you make it? How was it?
I made it. It was interesting. And so they didn't allow fans to talk. It was just mostly a lot of like Dodgers personnel chiming in and such, talking about how they're dealing with the quarantine and such.
Yeah,
But they made it feel like a game day. They made it
Yeah.
feel like game day though.
I was wondering how they were gonna do that because I was like,
Yeah, that
10,000
sounds crazy.
people at once.
I could just imagine what those squares are going to look like on Zoom. They're like little thumbnails or something.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
every
Pixels.
exactly.
It's
Everyone's a
trying to
different
hijack
pixel.
the-
I'm
and someone trying to take over the chat, you know.
Yeah, I wonder if they're gonna sports teams are gonna try that now. Like since see how successful the Dodgers were, to start their own Zoom like chat.
Speaking of
The
Dodgers,
the only thing they
news
really had
that-
difficult doing was trying to like upload like the in-game videos that they do like on Dodger Vision. That's about it.
Wow.
What were we saying? What were we saying, Rico?
Dodger news: Vince Scully fell this week.
Oh yeah.
Fell at home, got hospitalized, but I hear he's doing good and he's recovering, or he's back home. Do you guys know?
Yeah.
Back home, he's recovering, he's fine.
Vince Scully, a couple about maybe 10 minutes before we went on, the Dodgers posted a video of him thanking the fans, thanking the hospital, and thanking different people about and saying he's fine now.
When you see the Vince Scully headline with how everything else has gone in 2020, like low key, my heart sank when I read it.
Yeah.
Like Vince Scully, I was like,
Like,
please,
damn
no.
you, 2020, not Vin, not
you
Vin,
too.
2020.
Not you too, Vin. But then, yeah, I think they said yesterday that he was back home and everything was fine. So,
And that's what freaked me out too, because I see Josh's reply. He's like, the same thing happened to Chick Hearn before he died. I'm like, no, don't say that, Josh.
Josh is going to the worst.
I did not
place
post that
possible.
one. I did not post that about Chick.
No, but you said it's similar to what happened to Chick prior to him.
I never said that. I knew that in the back of my head.
No, someone said that in the group chat.
In the group
dude.
chat, I think someone.
I'm
said it.
usually the Debbie Downer, but I did not mention that the same thing happened to Chick.
I was like, Jesus, someone said
I
it.
was waiting for it. I was like, come on. Don't go making us feel even more paranoid.
It's bad when you know that Josh probably thinks that same thing that happens to Chick.
Yeah, no, that's why even if it wasn't you, I feel like it still was
Someone
you.
posted it on
Just
our chat though. Someone said it.
I
because that's who
posted
you
the
are.
news, but I didn't post
I thought
the.
someone said, "Hey, what happened to Chick Fil A to him, buddy?"
The worst. Well, yeah,
Crazy, dude.
guys. I mean, thank you once again. Thanks for everybody who was a part of this day. We appreciate all of you guys. Like we said, it's obviously a weird time with no sports, so it's cool hearing different stories of either how people are adapting or what I mean, the challenges in everybody's day-to-day lives now because of all this. So thank you for taking some time out of your guys' day to be here on our show with us and giving us your insight on everything like that. For everybody else, we do or aren't familiar, we do these shows every Monday at 8 o'clock. So if this is your first time with our show, subscribe. Check us out next week. Like I said, thank you again to everybody else. Thanks, Rico,
Support your
for
local hooligan.
setting all this up today.
Get them plugs.
Thanks for Josh for being our Debbie Downer. Thanks for Christian for
He's
making
got
it. Even though he wasn't actually here in the video, he still made it on the audio. So
we
Tommy was
missed
not.
we
I'm
missed
still
Tommy.
here.
Tommy was trying
Tommy's
to
not
get it.
here.
No, Tommy was trying to get it a couple of minutes ago, but I was like, dude, we're wrapping it up now.
Yeah, Tommy
Next
it
week.
was his first day back from work, so
Yes, Tommy
Yeah.
is a
He
new
is
father.
essential.
He's essential.
Yeah, he's been on paternity leave for the last like 5 weeks, and today was his first day back. So
He's
he had a long day.
He's Johnny Hecker's hero, really.
Yeah, he is. But yeah, so like I said, thank you everyone for coming by. Subscribe to the
Thank you
channel if
so
you
much.
haven't already. And then we'll see everybody next week. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Any
Thank
plugs?
you.
Any
Thank you
plugs?
for
Wait,
having
wait,
us.
wait,
Whoa,
wait. We
whoa,
did
whoa.
our plugs.
Jay,
Go Pack,
you know
go!
what to do.
Wait,
We need our
Well,
We're
plugs
not
first.
done yet.
do you guys want to do plug?
I
yeah.
heard Go Pack Go.
As always, every episode of the Hooligan Sports
Oh, how
Podcast
could I
is brought
forget?
to you by our friends at Rose Cremations in the city of Bellflower.
That is true. How could I forget our main sponsor? We have
I know,
one
They're the
man.
main
sponsor.
sponsor.
We are sponsored by
Another shout out to
Service.
Big Nick's Pizzeria.
Wait,
You know.
you didn't do
Official
the
pizza of the hooligans.
You didn't do the Rose tagline.
Oh, that's right. Rose Cremations. Think about tomorrow. Today.
There we go.
Eric or Liz, you have anything you want to plug?
Yeah, any of you guys, I mean, just go through them one more time so everybody knows if there's any website or social media you guys want to promote. We'll go ahead and give everybody a moment to do that. What about we'll start with Eric?
Yeah.
Already know Mindful Games. Is there a website, social media, anything very specific?
At Mindful Games, it's at
For which the Instagram, it's mindful gain at mindful gains I'm sorry, at mindful_gains.
With the Z.
With a
With
With
Z.
the Z. Gains with
Z.
the Z.
Oh, with a Z. Okay.
Games.
Games.
exactly
Games.
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 And then Johnny, anything you want to promote? Anything you're trying to, just a message for the people?
I'm only here for me and my kids. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's my dad.
Sorry, they were arresting Christian right now.
Because he spoke for all the text. No, I'm just.
So you can go ahead. You gotta go ahead and start over.
No, it's cool. It's Rad Data 4 on Instagram. I only post personal stuff and my kids. So if that's what you're into, give me
Yeah.
That might be scary, bro. You might not want to.
my kids.
And there are open carry gun laws in Texas, guys. So be
Oh,
careful.
no.
Don't forget that.
And Liz, you have anything?
License for it though.
Yeah.
And as far as for me, you can follow me on Instagram at LIZAR photo, or my website is lisarosales.com. So
Awesome.
Very cool
Love my work
photographs.
and
Check out those
For
photographs.
sure, everybody check that out. Also, Rico, did Charles have a website? I know he mentioned the AXS article about Quake.
AXS.com, yes.
Well, did he have
That
another
is
website or blog
No,
or social media?
I think
Just
that's it.
that? All right.
AXS Sports.
What about you guys? You guys got anything? Rico,
I don't.
Yeah, like Christian said, Big Nick's Pizza became our official partner.
Pizza sponsor?
Official food, yeah. Official
Yeah,
pizza.
Mindful Gains has now become our official
Official
health
fitness.
partner.
Yeah.
Cecil Rosales Photography has become our official photo
There you go.
photography company. No, man, thank you guys for joining us. If you guys want to hit us up, check out our social media: Hooligan Hockey, Hooligan Sports, Hooligan Baseball,
All of that
Hooligan
stuff.
everything.
Hooligansports.net, the actual website where you can pick up a shirt or something.
Yeah,
Mark the road for
check
hooligans.
us out. Especially if you guys play some Call of Duty, you can actually join Eric and I when we murk. So yeah,
There you go.
he's not only my workout partner, he's also my shooting buddy.
That's hilarious.
Check us out.
So yeah,
all I got.
once again, thanks everybody for stopping by. This time for real. This time for real.
Okay.
Don't forget
having
See you guys.
Thank
Monday
you.
at
Be
8
safe, everybody.
You guys have a good one.
You
Bye.
too.